Hello and welcome back to episode 6.
We are halfway through season 1.
We are indeed. This is my celebration shirt.
Okay. Like it.
Yeah.
Good.
By the way, my name is Obi.
And I'm Peju.
And together we are the Jedi.
And the Spark.
Yes, sirree. Wow. Episode 6.
Halfway through. And
very exciting.
It is very exciting. And I think it'll be even more exciting.
What, even more?
Even more exciting. To share some of the feedback we've received from viewers.
Okay, yes.
Over the last 6 episodes. It's been wonderful to hear from you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending us your thoughts and your comments and your questions. So here we go. Thank you to the viewer who said, I love the Jedi and the Spark show. It's very important and relatable.
Nice.
Thank you to the viewer who said, this was a really interesting episode, talking about the one of championing men, women, and each other.
Oh, cool.
They said, I enjoyed it and, of course, learned something. I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Nice.
So we are here giving you more. Thank you to that viewer.
Hey, can I throw one in?
No. Okay, sure. Go on.
So to the viewer who said, totally loved it. Can't wait for the next episode. Had some big light bulb moments. So vulnerable, both of you.
Oh,
so,
wonderful.
Yeah. It was epic, they said.
It was epic. Well, we are glad to be epic for you. There was another one that I really liked. It says, thank you for sharing your lessons with the world. You're both amazing. I've been married for just over 3 years, and I still have so much to learn. So obviously we've been married for 20 years more than this person.
Sure.
So thank you to that viewer. They're really getting a lot out of it. So wonderful.
Yeah, that's so cool, right? And especially with the last viewer there they've been married for 3 years. What it makes me think about what we're doing, we came across this quote recently when we went to speak to some of those amazing youngsters. And it was, don't climb the ladder, be the ladder.
Love it.
And the reason why that sticks out now is because it's important for us to not wait until we're perfect, right? Hey, we've got it all figured out. We're perfect. And now we can share. No, part of being the ladder is just, hey, you're a few years ahead of others.
Yes.
Share, because it's actually in sharing, in teaching that we learn and we grow ourselves. And this show is about signposting people to resources, pointing people to things that we've learned as well. And so it's exciting that we get to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's also things that we are learning. So
absolutely. Oh, yes.
In a former life, I used to teach English language as a specialism. And I love this.
Did I know you in that life?
That's for another episode. And I love the saying, we are a present perfect, not a past continuous. So we are continuing to learn and continuing to share. We're not waiting till we're perfect before we choose to share or give ourselves permission to share. Because we'll never be perfect. So
it's clear that you used to teach English, right? And creative writing.
Past perfect, present. We're present continuous, not a past perfect. So excited to be learning and excited to be passing on nuggets as we learn.
Yes.
So we are choosing to be ladders.
Indeed.
Super.
And something else that comes to mind now, especially thinking of the couple who've been married for 3 years. So I recently came back from a wedding, which was
you went on your own.
Incredible.
Not right.
Hey, there were reasons. All the boys had exams. So anyway, but it was in Canada. My niece was getting married, or our niece, but a niece on my side. And it was just really special being there. One, just seeing the next generation, right? So it's our kids saying, I do, and connecting and sharing. It was amazing being with cousins and family. But there was a moment, we had various parts of the ceremony over the 4 days that we were there. But one of them, this was on the Sunday afternoon. So they got married on the Saturday, had a special Thanksgiving at church on the Sunday. And then in the afternoon, we were taking the new bride, new wife into her new home. And the host got the aunties and uncles to share a piece of advice for the young married couple, and there was so much great advice, which was incredible. But it reminded me of a standout piece of advice that we got, but it was really directed at me just after we got married. And it was, Obi, best advice I can give you is to rediscover your spouse over the journey of your marriage. Rediscover your partner. And so we've
really good at
so we're going to focus on that. That's going to be the theme of our episode today.
Super.
It is to rediscover your spouse,
rediscovering each other. And my question to you, Jedi, is: have you been rediscovering your spouse?
You weren't meant to ask me that. I don't know. Yeah, of course. I think so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Well, yeah, it's not too late, right? 23 years later for me to rediscover you.
Sound advice. And it'll be great to unravel, because it's wonderful to put out these concepts to our audience, to our viewers.
Yeah.
But it's also really important to unravel the why, the what, and the how.
Yeah. So
what is
good.
that, to use that as a guide to rediscovering each other, to rediscovering your spouse. It helps to kind of backtrack a little bit. So why?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how?
Cool.
I'm going to start with the
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
Start with
That's
the
helpful.
why. Why rediscover your spouse? Well, I'm reminded of a blog post that I wrote over 10 years ago now. I was coordinating a stay-at-home mothers group. We were having such a fantastic time. And every week I'd put out a blog post. And on this particular occasion, I got some very humorous feedback, because the title of the blog post was, "Your husband is married to another woman."
What? Oh.
And the women were like,
what are we promoting? What are you promoting
Exactly.
in
The
that
women were
blog?
like, what are you saying? Is he having an affair? What's going on, Peju? What are you driving at? And for me, it was all about, well, even if I looked at my own life, the young woman at 25 who got married was very different to the young woman at 30 who just became a mother.
Sure, yeah.
And so it was very much appealing to these women to do some of that rediscovering of themselves as they navigated life and the season and the journey of marriage, to see that they had grown and evolved is a great word.
Of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's so cool.
So the why is we evolve,
Yeah.
we change, we grow. And so who you were a few years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago isn't the same person. And so therefore really important to rediscover that who the new person is.
Especially if you're committed to growing. I mean, there's some viewers who might say, well, I'm married to somebody who really is the same. If you're committed to growing, if you're committed to growing, then you are becoming different.
Yeah.
You're evolving. You're becoming a better, firmer, more mature, like fine wine version of yourself. So it's important to do the work.
Yeah.
To rediscover yourself on the journey, and then to use that as a doorway and an invitation to rediscover your spouse.
Yeah.
So
So that's cool. We've established the why is we evolve, we change, we grow. Then what does it look like? I think it looks like noticing the change in your spouse,
right.
Noticing the change in yourself,
Yes.
but also noticing the change in the season as well,
of course.
which I think is key, because sometimes people might say, oh, they haven't grown or they're not about growing. Yeah, but you may be in a new season, right? You've got kids, you're older, it's work has changed, the world is changing, technology is right, all of that. And so there will be change inevitably. And so noticing the change in yourself and your partner in the season is key, because that links back to one of the foundational messages that we introduced in episode 1 about the you, me, we. So noticing how you are changing the other person, noticing me, how I'm changing, and then what does that mean for us? So I think that's a big part of the what, right?
And that's powerful, the noticing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily reacting, but noticing.
Ooh, yeah, we'll come to that, right?
Okay,
yeah.
Definitely. And what areas have we noticed that we have changed?
All right.
And we have evolved. I think that's really different to talk about that. So you go first.
All right. So we're moving into, so how do we do this effectively, right? How do we notice? How do we just rediscover each other?
Enjoying the journey.
So one of the ways that I've noticed.
Wait for this.
So before we got married, my sense of dress style was just, it certainly wasn't something I paid attention to. Right. And
not very fashionable.
yeah, not very fashionable. But it meant that early on in our marriage, you'd give me advice perhaps on my dress style or the shirt or something, and I hated it. Like, I really did like it when you did. I thought, well, you think I don't know what to wear, which in a sense I didn't, right? But it's so that was something early on I wasn't great at. Now over time, certainly with your input and input of others, I've grown in that. I pay attention to it now. It matters to me, right? I can pick colors and the coordination. The Jedi has moved from Padawan to master in that arena. So that's an area that I've grown in.
Yes. Even to the point of being able to give me advice now on what I wear. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, interesting.
By the way, so is that the way it's impacted you? Because that's an area that I've changed.
Good question.
And how has it impacted you, would you?
I love stepping out with you.
Okay.
Not that I did it before, but I really enjoy.
Well, I'm kind of reading that in there.
No, I'm not saying that. I've always loved stepping out with Obi. But I think there's a bigger pride in that's my man.
Okay.
And he's taking responsibility and loving the skin he's in, but he's loving the clothes he's in.
Sure.
And you've grown so much in knowing the colors that suit you. And there's just a lot of pride when we step out. I admire how you kind of work things together for your wardrobe.
Cool. Better do more of that then, all right?
Do more of that. So for me,
what about you?
Mine's different. Mine has to do with, I remember as a little girl, always thinking my greatest ambition was to build a strong marriage and to have a happy family. I was not ambitious career-wise, as you would know, but I would say over the decades, I've really grown in my conviction that I am quite ambitious.
Sure.
Career-wise. And it's taken some time. And maybe that also has to do with the fact that our children are older, and I've definitely seen a lot of the work that I put in pay forward.
Sure.
And so I feel like I'm in a really great space now where I can look after myself and really tap into what makes me come alive professionally. And I'm loving it. I didn't think I would, but I'm really loving having a vision for my business, a vision for my career, tapping into my gifts and seeing myself grow, progress, and soar professionally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah, that's so cool. And listening to you speak there, I'm just thinking about the impact on me, right? So rediscovering that was early on, just discovering that about you, that your focus was, hey, I really want to grow our family and the kids.
And the marriage.
And the marriage, of course. and I think at the time, I did want you to be a bit more ambitious.
You did.
And so discovering that was, okay, she's not as ambitious in that way. Mm-hmm. But then realizing I look back now and think, wow, the emphasis on the kids and the way they've grown and the foundation that you've laid there. I value the fact that you put a lot of energy into that. You're welcome. And then now it's, again, noticing the season that we're in. And now you're in a season where, okay, I can pour energy into it. Because it is tough for a lot of, especially for women who are just have kids. You've got your just role as a mother, but also as a professional. Navigating that is tough. And so I think it's incredible seeing how you're growing and then just owning the mastery of this new season.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I really am enjoying it. And I'm enjoying it because I'm doing it for me. I don't feel the pressure to do it for necessarily the family, to do it for us. I'm doing it for me. I feel like I am doing it as a response to what I've been innately gifted with. And I'm pouring and investing and enjoying it. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And what else for you?
Well, so yeah, let's see if we go even deeper, right? And talking about something fresh. So you're a phenomenal listener.
I agree. I agree. I've been told.
And they often say, don't give someone a compliment and then say, but I am going to do it in this case because this is quite fresh for us. Because one of the areas that we've had to pay attention to and work through is, whilst I'd say you're a great listener, over the years I felt, but you haven't been great at listening to me. In the areas that are really, oh wow, you jump in. But
case in point.
Yeah. So yes, but yeah, just that I felt that you didn't listen to me as well, right? In ways that I needed to, and so that's something that perhaps you've had to discover about me.
Defo. I'd say when we got married, you were not the sort of man who needed drawing out or who necessarily desired to be drawn out. You were very good at articulating your emotions. You were very good at expressing yourself. And I just felt like I just wanted to listen. And through the last few weeks, we've had quite a difficult couple of weeks, really honing in on this challenge in our relationship and you mirroring what it looks like for you to have me listen well and listen better. And so I'm definitely learning that I may be a great listener with friends and with clients and with the young people that I do work with. But sometimes it's paying attention to how people also want to be listened to. And so I'm relearning, rediscovering for you why it is so important to be listened to in a certain way. So yeah, it's been, we've had some little breakthroughs, but there was definitely a lot of hard work and digging deep and confronting some harder emotions that we were both feeling the last couple of weeks. But we've broken through what I thought I knew and what you knew I did not know and what I'm now learning to know. And I'm encouraged that I can put into practice in the future what I am learning.
Yeah. So cool. And I think we said it at the start, right? We're still learning. We're still growing. 23 years on, there are still things that we're rediscovering.
Reframing.
So that's all of everything we've shared there has been about what it looks like to rediscover. I might have said earlier on, how do you do it effectively? But all of that was about what does it look like to rediscover? So...
And I think, what I was going to say was the goal of rediscovering isn't just to rediscover.
It's not.
It's not just to rediscover. I feel like there's a gift when you choose to go that journey.
Sure.
Together.
Oh, yeah.
There's such a gift for yourself when you rediscover who you're becoming, how you're evolving and changing, what is ticking boxes for you and ticking you off. There's a gift in rediscovering for your partner what that looks like, how they're changing and evolving. And there's a gift for the marriage, for the relationship, as you discover and rediscover what season are we in and what are we learning. So we have a couple of tools that would help, that would be useful.
Yeah, so let's how to be really effective with this. So we've got the 3 R's.
3 R's to rediscover.
3 R's to rediscover. So first is receive, don't reject.
Yes.
And this is really about receiving the growth, receiving the insight that actually change is normal, because we could see, oh, they're growing or they're changing, they're doing something different, and we reject it. I don't like that. You used to be like this. You used to be like, receive it. It's part of our transformation. It's part of our maturing as individuals. So it's not something to be frightened of. Yes. You reject it at your peril, really, because it's something that can add a lot of maturity and spice and value to your marriage. Yeah.
Spice and spice. And I think the way you receive as well is key, because you can receive with curiosity, which really builds the relationship and really enhances the season, or you can build and receive with suspicion.
Sure.
So the way you receive is important. And I think for me, the next one is respond, don't react.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Respond, don't react. The way you respond is crucial. And I want to touch on what we talked about in a previous episode about the nonviolent communication tool. Yeah. So the way you respond, I'd say, is to be active in your listening, is to ask questions and to not assume. I am the queen of assumptions. I think, I know what Obi's going to say before he says it. I know how he feels before he expresses it. And I'm learning not to assume, but to draw you out by asking questions and to be active in the posture of listening. Yeah,
that's cool. And that's something that we've experienced recently, right? Yeah. Just let me respond, let me listen, let me explore rather than just react to it.
Yeah.
And finally, it's renew, don't retreat.
Okay. All right.
Because it'd be easy to say, that's it, I'm going to give up here, right? I'm retreating from this. I'm pulling out. I don't like who they've become, but it's back to this is growing the marriage. Often the reason people say I'm renewing my vows, it's because hey, we've evolved, right? We're new, and so let's renew that commitment to each other. So renew your commitment, renew the focus on building the other person up, right? Developing yourself, and rather than retreating from this relationship that has been a special part of your life. Because on the other side of it, I think of some of what we've had to work through. On the other side, when you push through, when you renew rather than just retreat, on the other side of it, the growth, the transformation, some of the things that I feel that we're doing, the connection that we have, the way that our we is working together, that's only on the other side of the renewing the commitment to one another.
So true. Yeah. Oh, watch this space. That might be a clue to us renewing. Okay.
Oh, did I just commit to something there? Okay.
No, Totem, I wanted to say sometimes the way we retreat could be silent treatment.
Yeah, sure, right. So there can be subtle. Yeah.
Very subtle, giving the silent treatment to the other person in the relationship, building a huge wall or barrier between each other.
Yeah.
Using the kids as weapons in the relationship.
Yeah, giving in to unforgiveness, all of that. Right?
Just shutting down.
Yeah.
Like saying to yourselves, we still live together, we're still married, but I've checked out.
Yeah.
And retreating does not lead to anything growing and glowing and flowing and sowing happening in the relationship. So,
yeah.
Do you want to recap on those?
So those 3 things are receive, don't reject, respond, don't react, and then renew, don't retreat.
Don't retreat.
All right. So we have, I often say this, right? Favorite part of our show, but we enjoy it all. but we're going to go to a special part of the show. But this time, we've got it with a twist. So we are going to spin the wheel with a twist. Because it's episode 6, right?
Episode 6.
Halfway through. So time for spin the wheel. All right, it's time to spin the wheel. And the difference this time is we are going to answer the question, if our marriage was a book or a destination or a season or an animal or fruit or furniture, what would it be, right? And we're both going to answer that. Okay. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to go first.
Go for it. Quick fire questions.
Okay, let's see. So if your marriage was a season, what would it be? Wow, that's a good question. I would say right now, it really feels like spring. So I think it's because I feel the season before that is you've sown and you're waiting for the harvest and it's just, blossoming, blooming, just emerging, transforming, a lot of color being thrown out there. That's what comes to mind. So
yes, same for me. I was going to say if our marriage were a season, I'd go with spring. Spring is about color. It's about the buds beginning to bloom and blossom. Like you said, it's flowers. It's the scents. It's enriching. So I'd go with that, just growing and flowing together.
Nice.
Yeah, adding color to life. So.
Come on.
Okay. So
all right.
Okay,
next one.
Again.
So if your marriage was a...
Ooh,
destination. Okay.
If our marriage was a destination, I'd go with a Caribbean island.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure which one, but I'd go with an island with turquoise blue water, beautiful white sand, and just sunrises and sunsets that you could literally fall into. You fall out of bed and you fall into one of these. Just the quiet, the calm, the beauty. Yeah.
Wow. Caribbean island. Interestingly, I'm thinking of an island too. But Mauritius.
Oh, right. Okay.
One, because it's a place that we've always wanted to go to.
Yes.
But similar reasons, it's just adventure. So I always think of our marriage, it's an adventure. We're always looking to explore, to grow, not to remain stale and static, but expand. And so I think of Mauritius as a place where there's a lot to explore, grow. It's appealing.
Lovely.
Yeah. So fresh.
We might do this vow.
Oh, wow.
We're building this picture.
Yeah.
He's giving me the vows
in Mauritius. Okay.
Mauritius, we're coming at you.
All right. I'm going to change the focus right now. Last but not least, let's do one more. Let's see where it ends.
If marriage were okay,
you're gonna spin. We've done that. Let's see if it were a color. Ooh. Wow. Also, I'm going first this time, all right?
I could go.
If it was a color. This is, I'm wondering if, I would say green. There were a few but green because, I'm just saying it didn't land on green, right? But green because I think of green as growth. It's the leaves, it's the grass, it's the landscape. It's fresh, it's energizing. And I just think, that's, we've always been committed to marriage growing, right? Growing us, growing me, you, we. And so, that's what I would say green. Green for me speaks life and growth.
I would say if our marriage were a color, it would be orange. I love those shades of orange. I love what we're wearing. This is complementing the flowers on your shirt. Orange is about newness. Nice. It's bright, but it's not interrogating. It's not too much in your face. It's just a beautiful, bright, inviting color, which I want our marriage to be. Inviting for people, approachable, but in and of itself, it stands true and strong and bright and radiant.
Oh, wow. True, strong, bright, radiant.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love it.
Love that. Wow. Okay. We have come to that time.
Yet again.
It's time to start wrapping up with a Jedi challenge, spark insight. And so here's the Jedi challenge. We've talked about rediscovering your partner, rediscovering your spouse. So I want to encourage you to consider the timeline exercise.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Just
that's a good
think through the journey of your relationship. Identify how you've evolved, how you've changed, and then share it with the other person.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
And, share it with your partner, share it with your spouse. Bear in mind the 3 R's, though. So be ready to receive, to respond, to renew, right?
Defo.
So that would be my challenge.
And I think an add-on to the challenge is as you talk about how you are rediscovering yourself, rediscovering your partner, it's also how that's impacting your marriage, the season of marriage, how you're rediscovering the season and the time and the journey of your marriage. And my spark resource would be, you know what I'm going to do? That blog post that I wrote, your husband's married to a different woman, I will put that.
Yeah.
We'll get that in the show notes.
That would be good.
That would
Yeah.
and
That would be good to scare all the women out there.
I think it's noticing that you are married to a different person.
Yeah.
And that different person is married to you as a different person.
Yes, yeah.
So do the work of noticing.
Yeah.
There's so many treasures and gifts come when you choose to take the time to notice. So that's the spark, insight come resource.
Love it, love it, love it. And we have loved having you with us,
Always.
virtually speaking.
Always.
So as we get ready to end the show, please do subscribe, like and share. Leave comments. Yes. Yeah. Leave comments, send questions. Email us at thejediandthespark@gmail.com. We'd love to get your messages.
Testimonials.
Testimonials.
This
Yeah.
is helping,
Absolutely.
and supporting your marriage journey. That's what we're about.
It is indeed.
Okie doke.
And until the next time, halfway through season 1, you know what's coming. May the force be with you.
And may your spark always burn bright. See you next time.
Over and out.
Bye.